right, welcome everybody. We have a special guest tonight. We're going to have an honorary mayor of the day. I'd like to introduce my friend here. This is Corey John Richter. He is the son of Commissioner Lauren Richter, and that's his little sister over there, Lucas. And Corey's going to open us up today. So you remember what you're supposed to say? I call this meeting to order. Can you say that? Yeah. Say it in that microphone right there. Say, I call this meeting to order.
I call this meeting to order.
Good job. Let's take a picture. Jamie's going to come up and get our picture. Come over here, out behind that. I want you to hold that.
You're trying to hide.
There you go. Thank you, ma'am. All right, you can take that. Thank you very much, buddy. Okay. Can I get a declaration of quorum, please?
Here.
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 Thank you, ma'am. And at this time, would I get you all to rise? I'm going to invite Pastor Anthony Bradshaw from A Square Church to come give the invocation, please.
We all bow our heads. Most grateful Heavenly Father, when we come to you, just thank you for allowing us to gather together one more time. Asking you as they go into this meeting tonight, Father Jesus, that you would lay your hands upon them. Father Jesus, ask you that you would give everybody of understanding, Father Jesus. Asking you just to touch this little town that we're in, Father Jesus. Father Jesus, be with us, move us as we go to and fro. And Father Jesus, we can constantly give you praise, the honor, and the glory. Keep us where we are torn down, pick us up where we are bent down. Father Jesus, we know you can do all things, Father Jesus, so we give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. In Jesus' name we pray forever and ever, amen.
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 Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We're going to start out tonight with our citizen participation. Same rules as always, 3-minute limit per person. Please state your name when you approach the podium. And we're going to start tonight with Paul McElfresh. There he is.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm here to lodge a complaint basically on the way that the City of Shawnee is processing the biosolids in their northern facility. In the last several weeks, there have been a very obnoxious odor coming from that facility, and I live over a mile away from it. I have a quote here from the United States Environmental Protection Agency on biosolids and residential management for biosolids. First, it says nuisance odors is what they refer to them. I refer to it as obnoxious because it makes it almost difficult to go outside and have a quality of life when this stuff is wafting across our neighborhood. Nuisance odors are a common occurrence at wastewater treatment plants, biosolid processing facility, and biosolids recycling locations where proper management and control are not implemented. That's from the EPA. They're saying that proper management and control is not being implemented by the City of Shawnee in maintaining proper facility design, operation, management, and control. Careful oversight are necessary to minimize odors. Water quality professionals have a responsibility to mitigate nuisance odors. Okay. There are odorous compounds that are classified as toxic pollutants. The primary compounds coming from these odors are hydrogen sulfide and ammonia. And I'm over a mile away and I can still smell them. My wife has asthma. We're hazardous to go outside and do our nightly walks because of this odor is just so, it smells like you're standing next to a sewer at times. Biosolid producers should make every effort to minimize odors at the application site because the long-term efficiency of land application depends on it. Okay? And to me, the City of Shawnee and their water quality professionals are not doing that. In addition, they should avoid doing it when the wind is blowing. Of course, in Oklahoma, they'd never do it then, I guess. Also, nuisance odors can have a detrimental effect on aesthetics, property values, and the quality of life in communities subjected to them. And it is definitely currently affecting our quality of life. And I'd hate to think what would happen if this continues and it starts affecting property values in the area. Because you've got $300,000 to $1 million homes sitting north of this facility, and there's always a prevailing south wind coming in this state. So that's what I'd like to say. I'm extremely frustrated with the fact that. Thank you very much.
Hey, Paul, could you give your address to our city clerk so we can see where you are in relation to that?
Okay.
Thank you. Next up, we have Ryan Grider.
Good evening, Mayor Stevens and Commissioners. My name is Ryan Grider, and I wanted to take a moment this evening to speak on behalf of the Potawatomi Go Built Environment Committee. I've spent my career in the landscape architectural and construction industries, so the built environment of the town that helps shape who I am is very important to me. It directly correlates to the growth and lifestyle improvements of our city, and as a lifelong Shawnee resident, there's something about this community that has always irked me. We do not praise the good things happening here enough, and you all do not get to hear about them as often as you should. The narrative is almost always, this place is awful, or Shawnee is a terrible place to live. I could not disagree more. Over the past couple months, the Built Environment Committee has been a part of some amazing things that have positively impacted a town that I'm incredibly proud to be from. Just 2 months ago, Potawatomi Go co-hosted a National Bike to School Day event with the administrators, teachers, and parents of students at Jefferson Elementary School. Shawnee PD took time out of their schedules to assist in making sure that the streets were safe, and so that a group of roughly 20 children could ride their bikes to school. I want you all to see how awesome that really is. And we cannot thank the officers involved enough in making sure that kids had a morning that they can remember. We have also completed several walk audits across Shawnee to assess the walkability of certain areas. Those neighborhoods being around Shawnee High School, Jefferson Elementary School, and the 45th Street and Harrison Corridor next to Gordon Cooper. These walk audits and the analysis that take place are incredibly important to the city and its partners as we continue to compile information for the Shawnee Safe Streets Action Plan and apply for upcoming Safe Streets for All grant. Improving the walkability and bikeability of our streets is critical for the safe pathways to school, work, or just to the grocery store for many of our community members. We want to thank the members of the commission and the city government who take time out of their schedules to participate. Your commitment and support means more than we can express. We all know that progress takes time and positive improvements sometimes move slowly. It's exciting to see things taking shape, like the expansion of Kickapoo Street from Kickapoo Spur to Farrell. The core of Shawnee is roughly 6.5 miles from north to south, and the completion of this project will make a major impact on the walkability of this community and improve so many lives. Thank you all for your time, support, and everything you do for this community.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have, I believe it's Wendell Richards.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Dr. Wendell Richards from Chandler, Oklahoma. Thank you for that excellent prayer. That one got through the rafters. I appreciate you folks' service tonight, and I'm a resident, 41509 Hazeldale, the White House that you see when you're driving towards the gun range. I have 45 acres there. Recently, I was able to encourage my daughter and her husband to move here from Castle Rock, Colorado, because of the schools, because of the city government, because of police and fire protection, which unfortunately we've had to test a couple of times, and had no issues, nothing but kudos. I'm sorry you haven't seen me here, thanking you in person. The smell. If you folks think that this is what needs to happen and there's no alternative course, then let's start putting a load on everybody's front lawn. It's really bad. Flies are incredible around biosolids. That's a nice word to put it. It is good fertilizer. But as a physician, I'm glad that my wife and I don't have any breathing issues, but this needs to be rethought. There's got to be a better way to do it. I know in Lincoln County, they allow Oklahoma City to come out and put treated biofluents out on pasture land that's away from any large congestion of people, certainly not in the city limits. I was wondering, you know, what was going to ever happen to the land there where the airplane manufacturing company had been, and I guess now I have part of the answer, but I wish I'd have known before I invested and before I paid my taxes last year of over $10,000. I appreciate you guys. I've served on similar boards, and I know it's a tireless job, and you don't ever hear the good things, but I think we've got a great city. I think we've got a great outlook, but we need to come up with a different plan, or, you know, some way to divert the wind or something. I don't know. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Mr. Greg Sebastian.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all giving us time to come up and with our concerns of what's going on out here on Hazeldale. Most of you know me, I'm a home builder here in Shawnee. I've been a home builder here for several years. I have built most of these houses out here on Hazeldale for the last 7, 8 to 10 years. And most of these people I've got here with me this evening, I have built their personal house for them. Now, what you guys are doing over here at the old airport, what you've done in the past worked. I don't know if you're drilling it, putting it in the ground, however you guys are doing it. Whatever you guys are doing now, it's not working. I mean, you walk out in my house, you can't even go out in your backyard or sit in your back porch to have a cup of coffee. It takes your breath away. It's that bad. I've just opened up a brand new housing addition there that, you know, I'm going to have 40 some odd houses in here that I have new people coming out of state moving into this and trying to get into this thing. And you've got a smell of sewer. That is a very serious turnoff. So I'm sitting here with houses that, you know, are $1 million, $500,000 plus homes that I'm going to try to sell in this addition, and I can't do it because of the fact that we've got such a terrible smell. It's unbelievable. I lived there myself. I built stage 2, stage 3, now I'm in stage 4 out there. I live in stage 3, just right down the house, or across the street from Doc here, basically. And I have never, ever had this smell, ever, until here recently. So you guys come up with a new method of doing this. Maybe it's something you guys are doing to try to save the city some money. I commend you for that. But we've got to go back to what we were doing or something, because this isn't working anymore, because it's terrible. So I'd appreciate you guys would actually get in there and look at it and try to come up with a better solution. Because I can't sit in this new addition over here and show these houses like I did last weekend, and it was terrible. The people just, well, what is that smell? Well, I said, we got a sewers problem we got to take care of. And that's why I've left it. I haven't heard back from them people. And this is what got me concerned now, is the fact that this is happening in our area. I've got to be able to move these homes. I'm trying to help people get into this here, build Shawnee. That's what we're all about, building Shawnee and helping people come in here and be a part of what we are. I am a big part of what we do here in Shawnee as far as what we do. And Eric, you know, and I personally, you know, Greta, she knows exactly what I do here. I want to continue building here. I'm invested out here, major money. I cannot sit here and have people try to buy a house and it stinks this bad. So I just appreciate you if y'all would just look into this, and please don't let it just lay here. I'd like to hear something back here pretty soon if we can get something resolved of this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Mr. Brian Dozier.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
ladies and gentlemen of the council, commission, guests. My name is Brian Dozier. I'm one of the supervisors at REACT EMS here in Shawnee. Come here tonight to kind of give you guys some information. As we all know, mental health in our country has become a huge issue among our citizens, but one of the forgotten are the first responders that deal with that on a daily basis. Our firefighters, police officers, paramedics, EMTs daily go out and see things that most people don't want or should not see. The average person sees 2 to 3 traumatic events in their lifetime. The average first responder sees over 600. With that being said, REACT has taken the initiative and started a peer support program for our employees with the primary goal of supporting the mental health of the paramedics and EMTs that work for REACT EMS. Our team consists of 6 individuals with over 75 years of combined service, which is a lot of trauma. So we have taken it upon ourselves to put this team together to support the mental health of our employees, but it's also for support of the first responders in our county. We currently are going to team with Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Department. They have a peer support team. I have worked with a couple of the Shawnee police officers trying to get their peer support up and running, as well as the fire department, so we can work as a team in this city and in this county to look out for our first responders. Appreciate you guys' support during all of this. Hopefully when the police department, fire department come looking for support and for funds, you guys can see to help them so that they can help us. We're here for them whenever they need us, and we'd like to see them there for us, when we need them if something traumatic happens. Appreciate you guys' time. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And next up, we have Miss Teresa Cody.
Mayor, Commission, tonight, I just want to thank each of you for sitting in those seats. I know sometimes it's hard, and it's a very hard job. It's not easy. Tonight, I would like to request that item E be removed from the consent agenda until next meeting. It appears to me some have failed to engage properly with the very important people that have voted you into to represent them. Excuse me. My definition of engagement may be different than yours. The city has many citizens boards. How many of you are actually helping our mayor keep those positions filled with motivated citizens? Citizens that can and will help make a difference in your ward and in your city. No matter how the election tomorrow comes out, there will be change. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. With that, we will go on to item number 2. Consider approval of consent agenda. That's a long one. Okay. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Cam, need a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion and a second. Item carries 6-0. On to item number 3, presentation of Pet of the Month by Animal Control. Here she comes.
Hi, this is Buddy. Buddy's about 10 years old. Don't let that fool you though. He's available for adoption. He's already fixed. His rabies is up to date.
Oh my God, he's cute.
Make a motion to adopt.
I took Buttons home.
You need another one.
My parents would kill me if I brought them a second dog in 1 month.
He didn't just do that.
He would not do that.
Yeah. He jumps so you can catch him. Loves to go for car rides. Will fall asleep in your arms.
Aw.
So he needs a home. You gonna take him? Oh, he needs a buddy. But anyway, if you'd like to adopt, come to the shelter and meet him.
Come on, Rob.
They always
Come
like
on,
that.
Rob.
But thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rob sits there now.
He gets all the dog love.
Okay, on to item number 4, consideration of a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 budget for the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma for the period of July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027. Call on Ms. Kimberly Hoover, Finance Director, for staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The budget that was presented to you is the same that was done in May. There was no changes. City staff is requesting approval of resolution, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Kimberly, I always ask the same question. When I came into office, I committed I'd never vote for a budget that didn't have a reserve fund. We've seen the importance of that reserve fund
Yes,
through the
we do.
tornado. Does this budget contain a reserve fund?
Yes, it does.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Kimberly on the budget? Can I get a motion, please?
Move to approve the budget.
I'll second.
Okay, at this time, we'll call on the city attorney to read the resolution title, please.
Mr. Mayor, a resolution approving and adopting the fiscal year 26-27 budget for the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma for the period July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
Now we'll vote on the item. Item carries 6-0. On to item number 5, consideration of a resolution adopting the City of Shawnee 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal years 2027 through 2031. Kim, once again, please.
Yes, sir. The CIP that was presented in May is the same. Nothing has made any changes. City staff is requesting for you to approve resolution and adopting it for the CIP for the fiscal years 2027 through 2031. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions on CIP, guys?
None for me.
Okay, can I get a
I'm
motion?
liking some of the projects on it. Finally starting to see them on there. I'll move to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. And we'll call on the city attorney to read the resolution title, please.
A resolution approving and adopting fiscal years 2027 through 2031 capital improvement plan.
Thank you, sir. Item carries 6-0. On item number 6, presentation of the fiscal year 2024 through 2025 annual comprehensive financial report and single audit report. Kim, once again.
We have Kinsey here from Artledge that is going to present to you the fiscal year 2025 audits.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tim. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Kenzie Duarte. I'm a CPA and partner at Artledge, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to present the financial statements of the year-end June 30, 2025 audit results. On your package of the financial statements, page 5, which is our opinions of the report, we do include, similar to last year, to year ending June 30, 2024, an adverse opinion and an unmodified opinions. The adverse opinion in relation to the discretely presented component units and the unmodified opinions to the remaining of the programs and the funds. We did not audit. We also make reference in the opinion to other auditors, since we did not audit the Oklahoma Baptist University Authority, OBUA. Those financial statements were audited by other auditors that we make reference to in the report. We conducted our audit in accordance with audited standards generally accepted in the United States of America, as well as the government auditing standards. We're required to be independent of the city as well as to meet our other ethical responsibilities, and we were able to do so during the audit year. We do on page 6, the very next page, the very first paragraph of that, we include an emphasis of matter that is in relation to the new implementation of GASB Statement 101 under Governmental Accounting Standard Board. Essentially, you'll see that the compensated absences just increases the liabilities, so GASB is just being a more conservative, where now it includes liabilities as sick leave and calculations that are now included in the liabilities. So it's just being more conservative on the financial statements report with this new pronouncement on the GASB 101. Due to that implementation, you will see there was a prior period restatement that is in order to balance the beginning balances of the financial statements in order to correctly implement GASB 101. The financial statements were prepared in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. Our objectives for this audit is to obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements. Reasonable assurance, again, is a high-level assurance, so it's not an absolute assurance. The reason is we do not test 100% of every transaction, right? It's based on risk and samples rather than the entirety of all the transactions throughout the year. Page 9 includes the financial highlights under the management discussion and analysis. The very first bullet point, that's page 9, goes over the net position of the financial of the city. That the total net position increased by approximately $4.7 million from the prior year, from June 30, 2024, meaning that the assets and the deferred outflows exceeds the liabilities and deferred inflows for approximately about $139 million, equaling to the net position of the city as a whole. That indicates the city financial condition improving from the previous year, 2024, up to the 2025 by approximately that $4.7 million. On the single audit package, page 3 of that report, that is what's also known by the Yellow Book report. So it's the standards under government and auditing standards, where if we were to encounter during our audit internal controls deficiencies, meaning that management or employees in their normal actions performing their assigned functions were not able to prevent and or detect and correct deficiencies, we're required to include it in this report. And we do make reference to item 2025-001. We'll go over that here in a second. At the end of the report includes what that finding were. But outside of that, it was the item that we identified throughout the year as far as the design and implementation of the controls for the financial statements. Page 5 of the report is the third standard where we conducted our audit, and that is under the uniform guidance. Under uniform guidance, we test the controls and compliance in relation specifically to those federal expenditures for the federal funds that were received and expenditures that were related to federal funding. We go over the testing of those for the major programs that were selected. Page 7 of the report is the schedule of expenditures of the awards by grant. So you can see there's a total of approximately $5.4 million of federal expenditures during the year ending June 30, 2025. Out of that 5.4, roughly $4 million was in relation to ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act, and that ARPA is what was selected as a major program in order to test for those compliance and internal controls of federal expenditures. And in page 9, it includes a summary of those findings. And Again, we do have the adverse opinion with the unmodified, and we do have a material weakness. We'll go over that here in a second. Material weakness over the financial statements reporting, as well as a non-compliance. And on the federal side, for the federal awards, is the non-compliance, and that's mainly due to the filing. And we'll go over that here in a second. As you can see, assistant listing number 21.027 for the ARPA program will get tested as a major program under the federal expenditures for this year. Now, page 10 is the first page where we go over the findings that we talked about that went over for that material weakness on the financial statement side. Again, the two items that we have included in this year, one for the controls and the other one on the compliance side, is a repeat from the June 30, 2024 financial statements. The very first one being that omission of the required component unit due to the lack of the audit of that component unit, which will cause the adverse opinion on the city. That is in relation to the Shawnee Civic and Cultural Development Authority, the SCCDA, which in the past have been included as a discretely presented component unit. Without that audit, the city moved forward with to not include that component unit in order to mitigate the risk of losing any funding for the city and be able to have, even though it has an adverse opinion, be able to issue the financial statements of the city as a whole. On the compliance side, which is item 2025-002, it relates to the filing of the financial statements with the state auditor, as well as the single audit with the Federal Clearinghouse. Financial statements with the state should be filed 6 months from year end. And the federal single audit for the Federal Clearinghouse is 9 months from year end, right? And so because of not the 2025 not being issued and filed during that time frames, they includes an additional compliance item on the findings side of the report. As you'll see, every finding does have an opportunity for management to provide a response. We do include our recommendation, and management has a response that we're able to reply to that finding. And you'll be able to see those management responses on each one of those two. Page 12 of the single audit report. So page 12 and 13 includes, we're required to include what last year's, so June 30, 2024, findings were and the status of those, right? Whether they have been corrected, resolved, or they're in progress to be corrected. And as you can see, there's a summary of the item 2024-001, 002, and 03. Of those three, two of those were a repeat, right, with the omission of the component unit and the filing of timing of the filings. However, the item 002 from 2024 had been resolved. Outside of that, there is a letter where it's a required letter to those charged with governance. And with that, what it does, it goes over whether we had any discrepancies or disagreements with management, which we did not. And it goes over, again, any of those items that were identified or any additional items that were not included in the report. We did not encounter any additional findings that we needed to be and required to include in the report or the letter. We are, again, looking forward to and thankful to Kim and Mark for providing us all the information to be able to get through this audit and catch up basically in a pretty quickly manner. I remember being here a few months ago, and so being able to catch up and getting close to being completely caught up, it's the goal of us as well. So with that, any questions or comments?
I have one. It's more of a point of curiosity. I've pulled up the last 10 years of audits for the city. It's only in the last 2 years you've decided to include Oklahoma Baptist University Authority as a component unit. I'm curious as to what changed to cause, did you review the indenture? Was there a change in the indenture because previously you've not? And if you'd be willing to have a discussion with our council about why?
Sure. The financial statements are prepared by the consultants. We complete the audit, right? And the consultants is Crawford & Associates. I do believe that it's starting in 2024. OBUA were needed to be included in the past, and they have not been. And so once that was the realization of it, then the entry was made in order to make sure that the financials were caught up. And so last year on the 2024 report being the first year, we had a material weakness for missing that component unit in the past, but last year being able to caught up, and that included the new component unit of OVA.
I think council perhaps has some questions. I've spoken with council today about whether that's the correct decision, and so I'd love for you to have a conversation.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions for Kinsey? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it. Okay, on item number 7, consideration of the purchase of a security camera system from True Technologies in compliance with the approved capital improvement plan for 2027 through 2031. I'm calling Ryan Ayers, Chief Information Officer, for staff report, please.
Mayor and Commissioners, item number 7 is to purchase a new security camera system for 3 of our city locations. It will be for the Annex Building, City Hall, and for Public Works. This will be replacing a outdated system that we currently have. We have some of our camera systems are 10 years old. We have one camera that's 20 years old, so way overdue for replacement. This new project will cover areas that we currently don't cover, like the parking lot, some of the other outside areas of the buildings. And we have a vendor, and hopefully we could get you guys approval. You guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Anything for Ryan on the cameras? Good. All right. Thank you, sir. And can I get a motion on item 7, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Item 7 carries 6-0. On to item number 8, discussion of economic development services for fiscal years 25 through 2026 and 2026 through 2027 for the city of Shawnee. Calling Joe Vondren for staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. This item was requested to be placed on the agenda to provide an opportunity for the commission to have open discussion with regard to performance under the existing contract with Shawnee Ford that concludes at the end of this month, and also to discuss options moving forward into the next fiscal year with regard to economic development services for the city of Shawnee. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions with regard to it, but specifically, staff has placed this on the agenda in advance of the next 2 items, just so there could be adequate discussion before entering into the procedural reconsideration vote that has been proposed. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. But this is a discussion item only. It is not an action item, so no motions would be appropriate.
I got anything for Joe on item number 8? Okay. On item number 9, consideration of renewal of a contract for economic development service between City of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, and Shawnee Ford, Inc., pursuant to the Shawnee City Code, Article 2, Division 1, Section 2-30. Once again, calling Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As referenced, Article 2, Division 1, Section 2-30 contains a specific procedure whereby an agenda item that has been previously voted on can be reconsidered. The request was appropriately received by a member of the majority in the last vote to do so. You'll notice that agenda item 9 and agenda item 10 are very similar to one another. That is because the procedure requires that there be a separate vote with regard to whether or not the item is reconsidered. And if the vote is to reconsider, then the identical agenda item that was originally voted on is then considered again by this commission. So if 9 were to be voted in the affirmative, then we would move to item 10, which is identical to that item which was considered last month, and it could be discussed and voted on again. If item 9 does not receive 4 affirmative votes to move forward with reconsideration, then item 10 is rendered moot and would not be called, and the original vote would stand. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission might have.
Questions for Joe on item 9? Okay. So then, can we get a motion on item 9?
Mr. Mayor, I have a point of discussion before we do that. I'm a strong supporter of our renewing the contract with Shawnee Ford, but I think what we do, how we do it matters. And Commissioner Fickner and I have had a discussion because I know she has some things here. And out of respect for my colleague, we've had a discussion about the public perception. I wasn't here in the May meeting to vote on it, and my support for it's been clear. Our need for economic development is clear, but I also don't want it to look like she's having to miss tonight and we pass it while she's gone. So my preference would be that we defer item 9 to the July meeting.
Okay.
And I'd make that motion.
Okay, so item is to defer item 9 to the July meeting. We have a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Item 9 carries 6-0, so we are deferred till next month. So we'll go ahead and read 10.
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor.
Item number 10, consideration of renewal of a contract for economic development services between the City of Shawnee, Pottawatomie County, and Shawnee Ford, Inc. Only considered if agenda item number 9 is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioners, you'll probably anticipate what I'm going to say, and I'll probably anticipate what you're going to do, but because 9 and 10 are companion items, we do need to take action with regard to this, and it would be my recommendation that it be identical to the action just taken on item 9.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion we defer item 10.
I'll second. Okay, we defer item number 10, carry 6-0 to the July meeting. On item number 11, public hearing for a request for conditional use permit, CUP, to operate a short-term rental at the property addressed as 1309 North Broadway Street. Case number is CUP 01-26, applicant Mark and Christina Henson. Call Petya Stefanoff, Community Development Director, for staff report, please.
Mayor and Commissioners, the property again located on 1302 North Broadway Street is located in low-density residential zone, R1, which allows to be used as a short-term rental facility only with conditional use permit. So we received the applicant's application. We review all the supporting documentations. Staff haven't received any objections or protests from the neighbors. So upon review, the application and discuss it, Planning Commission suggests approval and staff also suggests approval. So I'm happy to address questions you may have.
Good. At this time, we'll open the public hearing and ask if there's anybody here to speak for this item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Christina Hansen, the property owner with my husband. We filed the application and appreciate your consideration. I'm just here to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Any questions for Christina? All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anybody else here to speak for this item? Okay, is there anybody here to speak against it? Okay, at this time, we're going to close the public hearing and move on to item number 12. Consideration of a request for a conditional use permit, CUP, to operate a short-term rental at the property addressed as 1309 North Broadway Street, case number CUP 01-26, applicant Mark Christina Henson. Once again, I'm calling Petchy for staff report, for further questions, I'm sorry.
The mentioned property meets all requirements according to our Unified Development Code, and staff recommend approval.
All right. And can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on item 12. Item 12 carries 6-0. On to item 13, consideration of a resolution authorizing staff to apply and administer the United States Department of Agriculture USDA Rural Business Development Grants, RBDG, in Oklahoma, and authorizing the city manager to sign the grant documents. And I understand that this has been withdrawn. Is that correct? No action needed on item 13. Thank you, ma'am. On to item number 14. Discussion regarding proposal to amend Article 6 of Chapter 20, providing certain prohibitions against certain public conduct contrary to public health and safety, which shall be added to Chapter 20, offenses and miscellaneous provisions of the City Code, and also providing for severability, codification, and repealer. I'm calling Joe for staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Just as a refresher, this item came on for consideration by the Commission in April. At that time, it was deferred for vote until the July meeting. This particular draft ordinance addresses camping, other personal property items, and sleeping in vehicles. It's an updated ordinance for clarification, particularly in light of the grants pass ruling from the United States Supreme Court last June. PD has requested your consideration of these items to create clarification and consequences, candidly, in certain circumstances. This item comes on tonight for discussion only. The Commission has had 30, 45 days to review the preliminary draft. It'll come on for vote next month. But staff is welcoming comments from any commissioners with regard to any specific provisions, comments, concerns, so that the final draft we bring before you next month for vote can reflect those. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions on item 14 for Joe?
I don't have any questions.
You don't have any? Okay.
I will say we have received privately some commission comments that we'll incorporate into the next draft, and if anyone else on the commission upon further review has any, if we'll just provide those, we'll do our best to incorporate those so we have a final version ready for vote next month.
All right. Thank you, sir. Item number 15, acknowledge monthly sales tax report. I'm calling Kimberly. Once again.
You have before you an updated report. There was one change that I will get to with my notes. The sales tax for June totaled $2,613,466.52, which includes $3,961.59 in interest. This revenue is distributed across the 8 funds. The receipts in June are from estimated May sales and final sales figures in April. June 2026 collections had a 4.9 decrease over June of last year. This is where the error was at from the original report, and it was corrected to the corrected numbers. It's highlighted on page 2, and I apologize for the error. When comparing collections to the conservative budget projections for June, we are 0.03% below projections for the month and 1.08 above collections year to date. Use tax for June totaled $413,390, which is 7.85% below projected collections for the month. When you combine the use tax and the general fund portion of the sales tax, the general fund is currently $110,938 above budget projections. On the third to the last page of the report is the sales tax collection comparison chart by month for the last 12 months. This includes Shawnee's peer cities of Yukon, Ardmore, Muskogee, Clarksville, Stillwater, and Eden. These cities were selected with 3 factors in mind. population, city tax rate revenue, and revenue per 1% sales tax. Most of these cities saw a decrease in sales tax from June 25 to June 26. On the second to last page of the report is the use tax collections comparison chart by month for the last 12 months. This comparison includes Shawnee's St. Pierre cities. These cities also saw a decrease in their use tax from June 25 to June 26. The last page of the report is the graph that shows the year-over-year tax growth by month. It also captures the South Region Consumer Price Index as well as the average year-over-year change for Shawnee sales tax receipts over the last 12 months. 4 of the last 5 months have seen an upward trend when you look at year-over-year by month. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions, Mark? So straightforward. I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, item number 16, new business. Any matter not known or which could have been reasonably foreseen prior to the posting of the agenda. Mr. Manager, any new city business? Sir. Thank you, sir. 17, commissioner comments. Start on my left, please.
All right, I got 3 things. First to Paul, Mr. Sebastian, and Dr. Richards. I'm amazed to get to see, I married a girl from Chandler, so to get to see Dr. Richards in the flesh, who I've heard about for the last 25 years, yeah, I'm not saying you're older than I am, but I'm confident that, one, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I'm confident that staff will quickly respond to the issue, and hopefully we can bring a quick remedy. But I appreciate you bringing it to us. That's how we can get things done, hopefully very, very quickly. But Dr. Richards, I do hope to shake your hand after the meeting. Brian and React, I just want to say how thankful we are for them. And, you know, we see the ambulances, they've come to my house, my family's house at times. And I think it's easy to take for granted how fortunate we are here in this community to have an ambulance service that stands on its own, it's financially viable, and what a blessing that is to our community. So to Brian and his team, just from me and my family, we're so thankful because we've seen them in some of our toughest moments, and the professionalism they work with, along with our police and fire who respond to those calls, the care they give to people, and to know that they're not coming from a long way away. They're right here in our community is a blessing. And so any help we can give them, whether it's our prayers, whatever, because of, you know, they walk into everyone's worst moment a lot of times each day. So we're thankful for them. The other thing is completely random, but today I was messing around in Civic Plus and looking and reviewing the agenda, and it looks like we could do it, and I have an idea or a thought, and so I'd love to have a discussion with management and see if we can maybe make it an item for next month. But it appears to me in Civic Plus that we could add who has requested or placed the item on the agenda. And I think it's election season, so everybody's talking about what we can see and all the different, I think that would be just a good thing to add, is whether we have to do it by resolution or policy, I'm not sure. But to see, like, if, you know, a lot of these things staff puts on, whether it's a staff request or a certain commissioner has requested, I think that'd be a beneficial thing to the public. Anyway, I'd just like to have that discussion over the next month. So thanks, that's all I got.
I was privileged to be invited to a Flag Day event yesterday at the Midwest City Elks Club, and it was absolutely amazing. I highly encourage, if you ever have the opportunity to go to that one specifically, or any, it is a great source of knowledge and of course respect for our flag and how our flag came to be what it is, and where we've come from as a country. And as Daniel mentioned, tomorrow is Election Day. It's been a crazy election season, but we fought very hard for the right to vote. And I hear a lot of people say throughout this whole process, my vote doesn't matter. That is the most insulting thing you could ever possibly say. Men have lost their lives to get us this right to vote and to keep it for us. Go vote. It is the most important thing that you can do for yourself and everyone else around you tomorrow. Go vote, please. Don't care who you vote for, just go vote. And then if you don't like who that person is, good luck to you. I'm just kidding.
My turn. Okay. I too want to echo Commissioner Schuler's, call to vote tomorrow. If you haven't voted already, of course, don't vote if you voted already.
Please.
Please. But if you haven't, vote tomorrow, 7 to 7. If you don't know where your polls are, call me. I'll tell you where you can vote. All through the month of June and July, the Maybe Gear Museum of Art has free admission. Take your kids. It is a wonderful thing. It is a treasure of Shawnee. Additionally, on July 7th, there will be a Stay and Shop in downtown Shawnee. It's on Facebook. It's on our tourism site. Please make sure you come. It's been a great success to walk down. Mayor and I had ice cream last time. So I think it's amazing for Shawnee, and then you walk down Main Street at 7 or 8 o'clock, and it's just filled. And so come down. Hopefully we'll have great weather. Also, this Friday is Juneteenth. So on June 19th, there will be fellowship at 6 p.m. at Epic Snow Cones. If you're not familiar with where that's at, it's on the corner of Dunbar and Beard. So come on down. If you've never had a snow cone there, you're sorely missing out. They are the best, for sure. And finally, I want to say thank you to Commissioner Commissioner Matthews for deferring the vote on Shawnee Forward. I would like to say that we are for transparency. We want to make sure that everybody's votes count. And I too believe that Shawnee Forward is a good investment. We have current contracts. They've brought in businesses here. And so I would hate to have a vacuum where there's a spot where that's not happening. So with that, see you guys next month.
Thanks, sir. Well, it seems like we have a not so good smell in some parts of the town. We will address that issue and work with staff and see what we can get going with it. I know it's been brought to my attention before. I think now we're going to have to really buckle down and get with it and see what we can figure out. Just know that your voices are not going on deaf ears. I'd also like to reiterate, previous commissioners, go vote tomorrow, guys, if you haven't already done it. My wife has been a legal resident here since 1992, and she finally got her citizenship this past May 29th. I'm so proud of her for doing that. She gets to vote now. It's too tight to vote on the primary, but she'll get to vote on the runoffs and the midterms. So things that we take for granted, she had to work for, as well as Brother Henry. I think was in the same boat. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Not everybody gets to do that. And what else? There was something else. Oh, special thanks to the REACT guys. That's one thing I never thought about was mental health for them. I've had several friends that were paramedics, and it's something they really don't talk about, but it's got to weigh on their minds. All first responders too. Fire, PD, even your doctors and nurses. Let's think about them in that time. And I believe that's it.
Yeah, just kind of reiterate how important voting is. I mean, it's a a right to do, and if we don't go vote, you should you don't want you shouldn't be able to complain about it. But the budget is a tedious process. I mean, just hundreds of pages of stuff. I want to know how much we appreciate what you guys do. Having the reserve set back, how important that is. I mean, it's got out of a bind when we had the tornado a few years ago, so extremely important. So I appreciate what the staff does. That's all I got.
That's pretty much exactly what I was going to say, Commissioner Seahorn. I know it takes a lot of work, and I can't imagine how much work actually it takes to get all these documents prepared, make sure everything's in order, and so I always appreciate seeing those. But gosh, it really is Commissioner Matthews that's gotten me much more appreciative, and getting to see it firsthand with the tornado, that contingency fund. So moving forward, I'm always gonna make sure that that's part of our budget, and getting to witness it in action means a lot to me. Like everyone else has said tonight, go vote tomorrow, because I'm telling you, every vote matters, especially in these local elections, but it makes us feel better whenever we get the chance to vote, and I'm glad that mayor's wife gets to vote as well later on.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I take one moment of
Yes, sir.
privilege? I forgot earlier, if we don't have a runoff in Ward 5, tonight's Commissioner Sehorn's last full meeting with us, and from me, as your friend, I just want to say our city is better off for your service.
I appreciate
And
that.
I'm thankful for you.
Second that motion.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, Mayor, for letting me take a point of
Yes, sir. This time we'll recess from the City Commission meeting by the power of the chair and convene the Shawnee Airport Authority. Let's see if we can get this right.
Okay.
Again. Whichever one. We can do verbal. I got mine to work, actually, but we can do verbal.
I'm not sure if mine's working.
I was kind of proud of it.
Mine won't let us save it.
Okay. Everybody ready? Item number 1, consider approval of the consent agenda. Can I get a motion on item 1, please?
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
Third, fourth, fifth.
Tie for second.
Commissioner Matthews, Commissioner Richter, second.
You can pretty much write me down for consent agenda every time.
Oh, man, it's not popping up. I'll say aye.
Matthews,
Aye.
Schuler,
Aye.
Seymour,
Aye.
Item carries 6-0 on item number 2. Consideration of a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 budget for Shawnee Airport Authority for the period of July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027. Calling Kimberly Hoover, Finance Director, for staff report, please.
The same as with the city commission, it was the same budget that was presented for the public hearing in May. City staff is requesting approval of the resolution adopting the 26-27 budget. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Kimberly on the airport budget? I think we've all studied it pretty good. Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Call on the city attorney to read the resolution title, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A resolution approving and adopting the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget for the Shawnee Airport Authority for the period July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
Aye.
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 Item 2 carries 6-0 on item number 3, consideration of a resolution adopting the Shawnee Airport Authority 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal years 2027 through 2031. Once again, calling Kimberly.
The CIP for use was presented from the public hearing in May. City staff is requesting approval of the resolution adopting the CIP for the fiscal years 27 through 2031. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, guys? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Can I get a motion on item 3, please?
Move to approve item 3.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah. Let's call on Joe to read that resolution.
Resolution and approving and adopting the fiscal years 2027 through 2031 capital improvement plan for Shawnee Airport.
Thank you, sir.
Stevens,
Aye.
Matthews,
Aye.
Schuler,
Aye.
O'Neill,
Aye.
Seymour,
Aye.
Richter,
Aye.
Item 3 carries 6-0. On to item number 4, discussion and consideration of procuring the temporary building to serve as airport terminal. Call on Bonnie Wilson, Airport Manager, for staff report, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you for taking the time to consider our request to please buy the building that we are currently using as an airport terminal. We did get multiple quotes for purchase versus rental back when we first initiated the agreement just after the storm. We wanted to buy ourselves time to go through the insurance negotiations, FEMA negotiations, and other things that could allow us to take the best course of action for a reconstruction of a more permanent building. That lease agreement was for 24 months and it is expiring next month. At this stage, we do have some terrific, exciting capital projects that are going on at the airport that may take precedence over building new terminals. So we've decided to ask at this stage to take advantage of the offer from the leasing company at a very significantly reduced rate to go ahead and purchase the building we're occupying now and buying us some more time to go ahead and address some of the critical infrastructure projects that we're looking at this year and next. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer them.
Would this be a building you would foresee reusing or just selling later on, or?
It has a lot of options because it is mobile. It is basically a double-wide trailer-style office building.
Yeah.
And it has
I've been there.
You've been to it, so then you know. And so it does have some uses depending on how we progress with building a more permanent facility. Certainly want to give time for that to be designed, for people to have their input on what they'd like that gateway to the city to look like. Of course, then the construction phase itself. And at that point, if there's a need for it on the airfield, we can turn around and lease it to a tenant for a business use. Maybe work with some of our partners in the city for some of the things they may be constructing for a temporary housing for different purposes. I can think of some areas where I know we're doing some redevelopment, for instance, with our friends with the animal control folks. They're trying to get into a new building. Maybe it's something, timing works out for them. Maybe something for a situation out at the lake, if timing works out, and there's a good spot for that. As we continue to look to the different developments we take across the city, we can always partner up as long as we still have a place to work.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Can I get a motion on item 4, please?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Yeah, aye.
Oh, let me vote.
Oh, it popped up.
Did you get it? What I did? I didn't, I just like did it. I didn't even think to say.
I started though before. It's habit.
And item 4 carries 6-0. On to item number 5, consideration of a budget amendment for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 for Fund 511, Shawnee Airport Authority, to appropriate monies received from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, for the purchase of the mobile modular terminal building to transfer to capital outlay buildings and improvements for the airport expenditures in fiscal year 2026. Call on Kimberly Hoover, please, for staff report.
The city received the money from FEMA that was enough to cover the purchase of the mobile home modular terminal building, and we're requesting that you approve the budget amendment so that we can do that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Kimberly about the moving the money? Okay, can I get a motion on item 5, please? Thank you, ma'am.
I'll move to approve.
Second. Aye.
And item carries 6-0. On item number 6, new business. Any new business, Mr. Manager? Okay, item 7, we're going to adjourn and go to the Shawnee Municipal Authority, SMA. Okay, item number 1, consider approval of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay.
Give me just a minute, I need to get everyone in.
Aye.
Matthews.
Aye.
Schuler. Aye. Odell.
Aye.
Sehorn.
Aye.
Richter. Aye.
Consent agenda carries 6-0. On item number 2, consideration of a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 budget for the Shawnee Municipal Authority for the period of July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027. Once again, Kimberly.
The budget before you is what was presented in May from the public hearing. City staff is requesting approval of the resolution adopting the fiscal year 26-27 budget. And we'll have to answer any questions you may have.
Questions on this budget from Municipal Authority? Can I get a motion, please?
Move to approve.
I'll second. Then I'm going to call on Joe to read the resolution title, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution approving and adopting the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget for the Shawnee Municipal Authority for the period July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
Stevens.
Aye.
Matthews.
Aye.
Schuler. Aye. O'Neill.
Aye.
Sehorn.
Aye.
Richter. Aye.
Item carries 6-0. On item number 3, consideration of a resolution adopting the Shawnee Municipal Authority 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal years 2027 through 2031. Kimberly, for the last time.
CIP for you was presented in May. City staff is requesting approval of the resolution adopting the CIP for fiscal years 27 to 31, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I think we're all good. Thank you, ma'am. Can I get a motion, please, on item 3?
Move to approve item 3.
I'll second.
And we're going to call on Joe one more time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A resolution approving and adopting the fiscal years 2027 through 2031 capital improvement plan for the Shawnee Municipal Authority.
Thank you, sir.
Stevens.
Aye.
Matthews.
Aye.
Schuler. Aye. O'Neill.
Aye.
Sehorn.
Aye.
Richter. Aye.
Item carries 6-0. On to item number 4, new business. Any new business, Mr. City Manager? Okay, so we're going to adjourn from the Municipal Authority. We're going to go back to item, I believe it was 18 on the commission. Back here are our notes. Consider an executive session in accordance with 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest. Anybody want to discuss this before we get a motion? Okay, can I get a motion on item number 18, please?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion we decline to go into executive session and consider tonight's meeting adjourned.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay.
Oh, you got
Well, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second on item number 18.
I make a motion to decline to enter executive session and consider tonight's meeting adjourned.
I seconded.
I'll say no.
And Commissioner Sehorn?
Yes. I guess I should have saved.
And it fails 5, or carries, I'm sorry, 5-1. And with that, we are adjourned.